Okay, now this part, we're going to sew all the sides together. Like, not like that. Like this. Okay. So if you have one that you would prefer to be the top over the others, which I think I do on this one. Just take your strip, fold it in half, and put it in that first corner right there, nice and snug. Fold it over. Just like that. And then pin it in place. I would definitely recommend using pins for this part because it can get a little messy without them. And then just find your other edge. Get another strip. Fold it in half. And fit it in there. If you can get that corner to move for you. Be sure on the open side right here to leave a little bit of space because we still have to sew on that front. And you want to make sure you have room to do so. So that should be good. Move those out of the way. And you can take your pins out. I usually take them out while I'm sewing, but if they're not going to be in my way, then I just wait to take them out later. Okay. So when you flip it out, it should look like that. You have your little hangers. Okay, back. And then just so I don't forget to do them again later, on the other side, I'm just going to start straight from here, if I can figure out what I'm doing. Okay. Actually, I want this. Again, just take a strip, fold it, fit it nice in that little corner. Fit it in there with a little bit of room in the front so you can sew on your other piece later. Pin it. And sew. And so it should look like this right now. So this is what you should have. Basically a block with no front and tabs on the inside. So just repeat that with what will be your inside. The only difference is you don't need tabs for this one. Just line them up. So now you should have two of these. One should have the tabs on it. Right now would be a good time to go around and cut off all these little excess threads, just to save yourself a little bit of time later. Now we're going to sew the front of the cube onto the inside. So just, again, stretchy against non-stretchy. And I know I sound like a broken record, but the side you want showing should go inside. So I want this side showing, it's going in. over there with the other one. So my camera died when I was working on putting the front on this one. So while I was waiting for it to charge, I just trimmed off the edges and put the front on there. So that's what it should look like. You should pretty much have your cube, but inside out. Now we can just do that with the other side now, the outside. Where's the front? And you should have that. And then just repeat all the way around. So again, you have another cube, inside out. Your tab should be on the inside there. So now just go around and cut off all the excess fabric on the sides so it'll be easier to pull it through later and you don't have as much. So now you should basically have both of your cubes inside out, edges trimmed, threads trimmed, everything. So you're going to turn one of them, doesn't matter which one, inside out. I'm just going to use the outside here because I like it better. So put the side that's right side out into the side that's inside out. Okay, so after you have your one side and the other side, line up the edges of the opening and pin them. I just tried to go the lazy route and not pin them, and I had to undo a lot of stitching. Okay, and right now we are coming up on where I started my stitch. So I'm going to take this one out and go a little bit on the corner and just close off this stitch. So here's our little hole. Just start pulling it through. It's easier if you try to pull one cube out at a time rather than trying to pull them both out. So now you should basically have two right side out cubes that look like they're kissing or something. Just stuff the inside. Inside. It's not being very cooperative. Okay, there we go. So now you still have that opening. Try to make it as tight as you can, since this is going to be the only seam that is showing on the cube. And then if you want to, which I would probably recommend just to keep it from collapsing on itself, you can sew, actually you should probably match up the corners in here first. You can sew 1 to 2 inch lines on the corners just so the cube doesn't collapse and trap any critters that are in there. And it should look something like that, nice and tight stitching. No little claws can get stuck in there. And then just repeat it on the other corners and then you have yourself a cube right after you hang it up. And then next, because I know these do have a tendency to sag on the bottom, I'll make a tutorial on a little pillow you can put in there to help with the sagging.